Trippy, huh?
What happened to the baby?
Not a scratch on her.
Well, I hope Chamberlain's back in custody.
Chamberlain's dead.
Oh.
Evidently, he got caught up in some kind of an explosion. His body was incinerated.
Nasty way to go.
I know it's a terrible thing to say, but whatever works, I mean.
Did Robin mention anything about Lucy Coe and all of this?
It's all right. Come here. Just hold on to me. It'll be okay. It's all right.
Called to Mac this morning saying you and Georgie were safe was one of the finest moments in recent history. And using that as a barometer, I can only imagine how you must feel.
Happy and relieved and so glad to see these four walls again with both my daughters under one roof.
I can't remember the last time that I saw anything as beautiful as the two of you are right at this moment.
I'm so scared, Tom.
So Ryan actually intended to keep her?
With some twisted attempt at recreating a family he felt like he was cheated out of or something. Who knows with him?
Yeah, well, it's finished at last. And Ryan's ability to hurt you or anybody else is history. So how'd Kevin hold up through all of this?
It's hard to say. He was affected by it. He has a tendency to hold things inside. He's stoic. But I think he blames himself a lot for it. I'm just glad that he's not alone.
He's with Lucy. What's the difference?
Well, I think she's... I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think she's actually good for him. She gives him what he needs when he needs it. And I think she genuinely cares about him. As much as she can. You know what I mean.
Yeah, all too well. Do you think I could persuade you into letting go of Georgie for just a moment so I could cuddle with her?
I think I can manage that. Would you like to go to Uncle Tony? I bet you thought I'd never ask. Okay, here you go.
I certainly hope you make decisions at ELQ faster than you do at the breakfast table.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing? Every day, it's lift and peak and lift and peak. They are croissants. They're all the same. Pick one.
You know, I hate to break this to you, but you're starting to sound more and more like grandfather every single day. And you happen to be absolutely wrong. Dad, some croissants are browner than others. Some have a better shape, a fluffier texture. Not unlike a woman. Some are more burned on the bottom. Dad, all these things have to be taken into consideration. It's very important. You have to...
You are like you were when you were a child. You're an impossible fussy eater.
I always have been. Hey, Emily, come on in.
Hi.
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 Is this where I'm supposed to be?
This is exactly where you're supposed to be.
fun in Emily. The only thing we bite at this hour is the food.
Has anybody explained to you the breakfast drill?
No. Monica just said for me to come down here, and she and my mom will be along in a bit.
Well, it's pretty basic. We all sort of stumble in at various hours, at various stages of dress.
And various temperaments.
Yeah, then we fumble around blindly for coffee and orange juice, which Cook always manages to set out before the first one of us gets down here.
And you will always find croissant here on the sideboard. That's in case you're too ravenous to wait for breakfast. You'll also find AJ here mulling over the finer points of the croissant.
Then sooner or later, Reginald stumbles in and he takes our order.
Orders? Like in a restaurant?
Yeah, kind of.
So I could have cereal, for instance?
You can have anything you want. You can have ham, bacon, sausage, eggs, fruit, waffles, omelets, pancakes, whatever.
This is incredible.
Let me give you a little bit of advice here. I probably would steer clear of Grandfather's daily special if I were you.
What's that?
Kippered herring. Ooh.
Wow. And this goes on every morning?
Yeah, every single morning. Here, I'll show you how.
Good morning.
There he is.
Cook has a special today, the Denver omelet.
I think I'm gonna have some waffles.
I'm going to have the omelet. Cook has a fit if somebody doesn't have the special every day.
Miss Emily?
I think I'll try keyboard herring.
Oh.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, well, kiddo, some experiences are not meant to be had in this lifetime.
You are a bigger man than I am, Emily.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Mom, you're never gonna believe it. Anything you want for breakfast, all you have to do is ask.
Ooh.
Like that great restaurant we went to with the enormous Sunday brunch. Remember?
Yes, I do. I couldn't move for the rest of the day.
And I'm having kippered herring.
Are you sure?
Well, I've never tried it before. And I'd like to try one new thing a day, if possible.
And what would you like, Miss Bowen?
I'm really not very hungry. You have some orange juice and a croissant. Come on. Yes, ma'am.
Nothing for me, Reg. I'm on the run.
All right.
Good morning,
Good
Mother.
morning.
Morning, everybody. Paige, Emily. Did you sleep well?
Oh, yes. I have the coolest bed in my room. 4 posters and a canopy that sits way up high.
She always wanted a bed like that.
Oh, by the way, Keisha called you earlier. She wants to give her rings.
Thanks.
Is Keisha your girlfriend?
Sure is. You'll meet her. So, Mom, what are your plans for today?
Well, Paige and I have an appointment with Dr. Cahill at GH.
Your oncologist.
Mm-hmm. She's giving a 2-for-1 sale.
I'll drive you over.
Oh, thanks, but I thought I'd like to get reacquainted with my car. Anyway, you have to go to work, and I thought I'd give Paige a little tour.
Sounds like a plan.
Emily, you want to join us?
Would it be okay if I just stayed here and got used to everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure, that's okay. Jason and I'll give you a tour another day.
Yeah, maybe this weekend.
I'd like that.
In the meantime, there are tons of games up in the attic.
Jason, no, that's probably not that good an idea.
How come?
You know.
What?
Jason, the ghost of Aunt Hildy is still lurking around up there.
No way. You think so?
Okay, listen, I didn't want to say anything, but last night when I was in bed, I heard her clanging around up there, still mad as a hatter.
The ghost of who? You're joking with me again, aren't you?
Gotcha! We will show you the attic, though. No ghosts boxes. It's just junk, actually.
There might be a couple of those hanging around.
No.
Show her your car. Your car's gonna squeak.
I have to be careful not to smother her. Right now, my instincts are telling me don't let her out of your sight. And I know that can't be healthy.
I do disagree with that. She's brand new in the world, and I don't care how nice that Ryan treated her. He wasn't her mother. And a little smothering for all concerned might be just a ticket.
Yeah. I've been thinking about taking a couple of weeks off and spending some time with Georgie and Maxie.
Well, that's an excellent plan. While you're at it, why don't you periodically remind yourself that the Ryan chapter is permanently closed and you can breathe again?
I just can't believe that he's dead.
Well, they found a body, didn't they?
In pieces.
Did anyone ever try to figure out exactly what he was trying to accomplish?
Exactly? No. His mind wasn't a science. He said it was a combination of things. His urge to have a family and revenge. And on some level, I think it was revenge all along.
Against you.
And Kevin. If we hadn't have caught up to him when we did, he would have disappeared with the baby. And I know that in the long run, he would kill all of us. No question about it.
Did he say anything?
Yeah, he said a lot of things. A lot of things that didn't make any sense. He was mostly just pouring out his heart with pain and anger to all of us. Ryan, the martyr.
If this isn't too painful to ask
No,
you...
I'm okay.
Well, I never got clear on how he managed to escape Belmore.
Another one of his ingenious plans, along with a little help from his friend Connie.
It was the occupational therapist.
Right. She gave him drugs. One stopped his heart and the other one revived it, and it put him in a temporary state of suspended animation.
You know, Ryan was always fascinated by the combination of drugs, but he took a hell of a chance here because the timing was crucial.
No. And he had no control over. He depended on Connie for everything. To change the body for the autopsy, to put the oxygen tank in the coffin, to dig him out before he ran out of air. I mean, what if she got caught in traffic or something?
It's a shame she didn't, since he repaid her diligence by killing her.
You want to know the scariest moment? He was tying me up, and I was begging him, take me, let Georgie go. I said, I'd go anywhere you want to go. And he looked at me, and he laughed, and he said, he didn't want me. Tony, his obsession with me was my trump card, and I played it, and it didn't work. That was a bad moment.
Have you tried to contact Frisco?
No.
Well, are you?
I was going to call the WSB today and tell them about Georgie and that she's plump and healthy and she's doing just fine.
And nothing about the kidnapping?
Well, why should I do that after the fact? There's no sense in doing it now.
I can't believe it. You're still trying to protect him.
Don't do that.
I just don't understand why.
No, I mean it. If you're trying to make me be and feel angry towards him, don't, because I can do that all by myself.
So are you saying you are angry at him? Okay, so you still got a candle burning in the window to guide him home.
Candle's out. He either comes or he doesn't.
Lucy's fine. Look, at one point, Ryan had her and Felicia tied up or something. And then Matt came in and he rescued them both.
Lucky for Ryan. Lucy captured would drive a sane man wacko.
Like the clown needed any help.
You know what's really weird? According to Robin, Chamberlain was running around town pretending to be Kevin for like a whole day before he even grabbed the baby. And then he tried to snake Lucy.
I bet that was him.
Him who, man?
When I told you I went over to tell Lucy about the connection between Damien and deception.
Yeah?
And, the shrink was there. At least I thought it was a shrink. She said he was acting kind of strange. Now, yeah, he was weirder than usual, as I recall. He told me to choke on something.
Speaking of the doc, I gotta go over and see him.
Well, you seen a shrink?
Well, I just gotta ask him about something. Later.
What was that all about?
Beats me. So Lucy's back. You know what that means?
Time to move on, Joe.
You with me?
I'm with you, but, having a plan is one thing. Suckering Joe into it is something entirely different.
Sonny, I hate to be the one that's always shattering your illusions. Scully is not omnipotent, and we're about to prove it.
Tell me, what happened? Was it a bad dream?
Something like that. Only I was wide awake.
Tell me.
See, it was so bizarre.
No, please, you can't worry about bizarre after everything we've been through together.
Okay. Right when Ryan... When Ryan was taken by the fire, I saw something. I mean, I didn't
I didn't see it. I thought I saw it. I think it was both the trauma, my own fevered imagination, but the vision was so graphic.
What is it that you thought you saw?
It was my mother. I mean, I didn't even think I remembered her, but there she was.
Your mother? What was she doing?
She put her arms around Ryan, like she was cradling him, as if she'd come to reclaim him. Now, I don't know if that was meant to give me some sense of closure, or if I should just be horrified for his soul.
Kevin, listen to me. You have to promise me that you are not going to start obsessing over something so horrible. Please promise me that, because first of all, you're right. You're absolutely right. It didn't happen. You didn't see that. And second, if it did happen by some weird supernatural occurrence, then don't you see it's out of your hands? You have no control over what happened to Ryan's soul. None. So would you please, just let it go. Please?
It's kind of a hard image to shake, Lucy.
I know. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go outside and bask in the sunshine, because spring has sprung, and somehow we just didn't even notice. Let's go outside and enjoy it.
What about deception?
It can wait another day.
You are so precious. But I think if I'm going to get back to any kind of semblance of sanity, the best thing for me to do is to get back into my regular routine as soon as possible. And you have been away from deception for too long. You're in the middle of a crisis, remember?
I remember. No, I don't want to beat my machine. I don't want to know what's going on, because I know something terrible has happened again, probably.
Better to know what you're walking into.
First, I'm going to call Sigmund, though.
I think my ears are playing tricks on me. Did you just say you're going to call...
Hi. Sigmund, it's Mommy. Hi, little Sigmund Duck. It's me. Daddy's right here. And listen, we're back. Everybody's safe. We're home. We saved the baby. The baby's fine, and everybody's fine. And quack, quack, and we'll see you soon. I love you, quacky.
What are you, nuts?
What are you? Insensitive? You know, it's very comforting. It helps them, you know, sort of, to hear my voice over the phone. Okay, you know what, Doc, I think you're right. Maybe it is time that we get back to the real world.
Well, that's a sudden turnaround. What happened?
Nothing. I just think you're absolutely right. We have to face the inevitable. Why avoid it?
You got a message, didn't you?
What message?
Dumb doesn't play on you, Lucy.
Dr. Collins, this is nothing for you to concern yourself about.
Now I know something happened, and I want you to tell me what it is. And don't try to make me think this is about essences or something silly like that, because you wouldn't try to hide that from me.
You are jumping. No, let me say, I think you're leaping to conclusions.
Luke Spencer. And it has something to do with that hood, that new hood in town, right?
Oh.
Right?
For Pete's sakes, you are always right.
Well, I can't help myself. Lucy, I told you to forget that Lone Ranger Tonto routine with Luke and go to the police.
I am not going to fight about this with you right now. I will see you in the shower.
Lucy.
In the shower, Doctor.
While we're in a holding pattern, I'd like to touch base about Brenda's birthday party.
It's Friday, right?
Right, yeah. I want it to be really special, you know? Turning 21 is an important thing for a young lady.
We talking a surprise?
Well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I think I'm going to have to. I mean, she'd kill me if I brought her into a room full of Port Charles's finest, and she wasn't wearing the right dress.
Yeah. I hear you.
So, what I have in mind is class. Top to bottom. I even have a few choice invitations that I'm going to hand deliver. Nice touch, don't you think?
That depends on whose door you're planning to darken.
Well, I thought I'd start with the Quartermains. They love it when I come around.
From what Monica said, I kind of expected the Adams family. But just between you and me, I think they're all terrific.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt, Miss Emily, but Mr. Quartermain has a visitor.
He's not here.
Yeah, I know. He's upstairs. I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind receiving his guest while I run up to fetch him.
Never received a guest before, but sure.
Great.
That'll make 2 minutes from today.
Miss Emily Bowen, Master Lucky Spencer.
I know who you are.
You know me?
Well, I recognize your name. You're Foster's, right?
Mr. Quartermain's been complaining about my dog being right.
Well, he's mentioned them.
Oh, hey, girl. How's it going? What you doing? Good. You know, this isn't fair. I mean, you know me, but I don't know anything about you.
Well, I'm a house guest.
Where from?
Phoenix. My mom and Dr. Quartermain, well, that would be Monica Quartermain, became really good friends at the Wellness Center.
Was your mom one of the doctors for her?
She was a patient, too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't...
No, the puppy's really neat. He's different, but he's neat.
Yeah.
Does he look anything like Foster?
Sort of, but, you know, nobody really looks like Foster.
I'd like to meet him sometime, if it's okay.
Sure. How long are you gonna be here?
I don't know.
Is school out in Arizona or something?
No, I might actually end up going here. It depends on how long we stay. Do you like your school?
Yeah, it's very cool. And I'm a good one to ask, too, because I've been to a lot of schools.
Is your dad in the service? Well, why is that funny?
No, I mean, you have to know my dad. And if you stick around a while, I think you'll meet him. He's, visible. Hey, do you like blues?
Mm-hmm.
He just opened a club.
Your dad owns a blues
Yeah.
club? Awesome.
It's cool.
Oh. Now, I assume you're here about that misbegotten hairball currently making itself at home under my kitchen table.
Yes, sir.
Really hope I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing.
You're probably hearing what you want to hear.
Oh, I think we'd clear that up real quick. Are you finally over my brother?
Oh, that's so hard to answer. Yes and no. I've given up on the notion that he's just going to magically change. But I haven't given up on him. And I'm not going to spend the rest of my life trying to make him into something that he's not, because he is who he is. And I am who I am.
And who is that?
A mother. A friend. A sister-in-law. I'm half partner into a couple of businesses. Part-time detective. I'm a little outspoken for my own good sometimes. I have a weird sense of humor, and I can be rather zany on an occasion. But most important, I am open to all the wonderful, unexpected things that life has to offer.
Well, if you ever need a running buddy, you just count me in, because I'm very handy at all sorts of situations. I mean, not only am I Mr. Compassionate Shoulders, I turn into Tony Jones' swashbuckler at the drop of a hat. You remember me in Cairo, don't you? Wielding knives, charming, exotic dancers, fighting off angry brothers. I mean, I did it all. I was a sight to behold.
Oh, I know you were.
Briscoe's got nothing on me, you know.
Well, you have absolutely no idea what I have been through.
Luce, you made it.
Oh, but barely. Do you know, There were times when I was not sure that I would even see the light of day again. All the way over here, as a matter of fact, I had to take these huge, racking breaths of air just because I could do it. Do you know what it's like to stare death right in that eye and say, Death, I'm going to beat you, and do it, and come out on the other side? Well, I'll tell you what, it can be an extremely humbling experience.
You? Never happened.
Oh, sure. Look at the two of you all smug and unimpressed. But let me ask you something right now. Let me just ask you this. When was the last time that you two went toe-to-toe with a dangerous, homicidal, baby-snatching demon child who happens to look exactly like your lover and has this disturbing fondness for identity switching? How dare you both laugh at me? I am so tired from all this. I could just go home and collapse for an entire week in my little bed. But am I in my little bed? No, I'm not. Am I even in my important company, running that very important company, Deception? No, I am not. I'm here with you two in pursuit of a common goal. But I have to add, this is costing me a lot personally. I just left Kevin, and he's very, very annoyed with me. So stop smirking.
We're smirking with you, Luce. Relax, baby. You want a drink? Ginger ale?
Gee, thank you.
We came up with a plan while you were otherwise involved. Your participation in it is key.
Okay.
What we need you to do is set up a shipment for Deception.
Uh-huh.
Something that is...
Thank you. Thank you.
Something that is lucrative on the open market. We'll filter the information to Scully, and then he'll intercept the shipment and abscond with the goods.
So far, I hate it.
Second thing is, you set up another shipment. Same setup, only this time, what Scully hijacks is a little something he didn't expect.
And this something gets rid of Scully out of our lives forever?
For the long, foreseeable future.
Obviously, you're going to have to take another hit. It's imperative that he walk away clean the first time. Because if he sees this coming, we're all in trouble.
You know, who's to say he's going to hijack on cue?
Don't worry about that. He will.
Are you in?
I'm in. If Edward doesn't fire me first.
It sounds like you two have business to discuss. And I was just about to take Annabelle for a walk. So if I may be excused?
By all means. This might get a tad rough for your delicate ears.
Lucky, it was nice meeting you.
You too. Maybe I could call you and we could set up a time for you to meet.
Huh?
You know who.
Yeah, I'd like that. Come on, Annabelle. Come on, girl.
She seems nice.
Very, very nice girl. Facing a desperately sad situation with such grace.
Oh, what sad situation? If it's okay if I ask.
Her mother's terminally ill, Lucky.
Her mom's dying?
I'm afraid so.
I wonder if she wanted to switch the subject so fast. I mean, I knew something was up, but... I mean, it's probably the last thing she wanted to get into a conversation that heavy in front of a total stranger, you know?
Well, I suspect that won't be the case for long. You two seem to be getting along quite well.
It's okay. I mean, maybe she'd like to hang out with me and Sly sometime.
I'm sure she will.
What is that on your cast? Is that handwriting?
Well, a ridiculous custom.
You let people autograph your cast after all.
Go ahead. Just be quick about it.
Do you have a marker anywhere?
Oh, here in that box right there. For heaven's sake, you want me to sign it for you, too? Hey, what does it say?
Huh? Oh, yeah. You'll find out when the cast comes off.
Oh, well, as if I cared. So, what's the purpose of this unannounced visit, young man?
Well, you said we could pick up our conversation later, and I was hoping that you've had time to think about giving me the puppy.
Well, my original position hasn't changed.
Well, neither is mine. Mrs. Quartermain made a promise to me. Pick of the litter.
Now, this is a waste of time, and I refuse to pursue this negotiations any further until you have agreed to one very important thing.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I want you to render that hooligan animal of yours impotent.
You're ordering me to neuter my dog? Sir.
That's right. If you're going to own a pet, you have to act responsibly. And until the matter's disposed of, I will engage in no further discussions about Foster's illegitimate offspring. Good day. That should be the end of that.
Come in.
Do you have a minute?
Sure. Everything all right?
Not exactly. I have, this problem, and Robin thought that I should come to you.
Have a seat.
Look, are you sure that I'm not barging in on somebody's appointment time? Because
Quite sure. You know, I found that it's sometimes easier to just blurt it out.
Really? Okay. You know about dyslexia?
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, Robin thought, and, well, she convinced me. Anyway, we think that I have it.
Why would you think that?
Well, I've been working for L&B, right? And one day, Lois asked me to do the inventory, and I tried, but the numbers, they just kept jumping around in my head, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
Has that ever happened to you before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the time. But I just thought that it was the same for everybody, and that they were just quicker or smarter than me.
When you try to read, what happens exactly?
I don't know, it's like my mind flips whatever it is that I'm looking at. Or one word will stand out nice and clear, and then everything else will be spinning around it.
What about your vision?
When I'm not reading,
Mm-hmm.
normally, it's fine. But look, Robin says that I can get help for this.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
true?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. To what degree is impossible to determine until we run some tests.
Well, sign me up. I mean, I'd give anything to just pick up a book and be able to read it.
Well, it might not be that easy, you know, but in any event, it will require a certain amount of effort and commitment on your part.
Well, I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
All right. I'll schedule the preliminaries then.
Will you be doing the test?
Yes, I will. I've had considerable experience in this area.
Oh, I believe you. It's just that I feel better because you're not a stranger. I mean, we trust you.
You do?
Oh, yeah, man, you're an all right dude.
Well, I'm flattered. Thank you very much. So, what's your availability?
Well, I'll have to check with Lois and Sonny. But I'll call you as soon as I know.
All right, I'll just wait to hear from you then.
All right, great. I mean, thank you.
An all right dude. I like that.
I like it. I really do like it. I just hate the part where I have to lose more money. And, gentlemen, how can we be so very sure that Scully is going to know about the shipment?
How does Damien grab you?
Ew. He doesn't. Not anymore. I mean, he sort of used to, but that certainly turned my stomach. The man is a pig.
See? She's motivated. We'd like to use you as the skewer that sticks Damien to Scully in this barbecue.
Ah, so I feed Damien the information.
Yeah.
That could work. That could work because, you see, Damien already suspects that I suspect his involvement in all of this. You know what I could do?
I could have one of those spontaneous outbursts of language that I tend to have, you know, where the words just pop out of my mouth and I can't seem to stuff them back in.
Give me an example.
Okay, what about this? Damien, I've come up with a very inventive and creative way to save my company. It all revolves around this very vital shipment. Do you know that man is going to go hurry into Scully so fast he'll probably re-injure himself? This is too easy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it gets tougher. Once this is accomplished, we have to throw you into the lion's den like raw but choice meat.
And Scully ain't Damien.
Well, you know, Mr. Corinthos, there aren't too many men that I can't handle.
Somehow I know that's right.
Come on over. Don't be shy.
I was just going to return this book.
You have time to sit down for a chat?
Sure. What about?
You. What sort of things do you like to do, Emily?
Well, let's see. I like school, insects, reading, and sewing. But not so much because I want to make clothes. I might decide to be a surgeon when I grow up. And I think, why not get a head start, just in case? But really, none of those things really matter right now. The most important fact of my life is that my mom is going to die. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. And I'm very sorry. I can't imagine how difficult this must be for you.
It's pretty bad. But not compared to what Mom's going through. Not only does she have to face whatever dying means, she has to deal with leaving me behind. And that makes her feel guilty. But you know, it shouldn't, because there's nothing she can do about it. It's not like she wants to die. But that's how she feels. And you know what I don't understand? Is why this had to happen to us. I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. I've been very busy at the hospital.
You helped Uncle Sean.
I know. And he is fine. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I know.
So, what do you think about your little sister?
Well, she's very small. Mommy says I was too. But I don't know if I was that tiny. And she's kind of bald. But she's a very nice baby. I like her a lot. And I'm glad she's back home safe.
You're all going to stay that way, I promise.
Dad, something happened with Mr. Quartermain, and it is very, very scary.
What, about the puppy?
He's insisting that Foster gets, you know...
No, what? Be more specific.
He called it rendered impotent. You see? He's upset about it. I don't know what to do.
Who the hell does Edward Quartermain think he is? To think that he can dictate what we do with our dogs?
Oh.
Tomorrow, with Donna out of the picture, will her sister make the moves on Greg? Find out on NYPD Blue. Due to adult language, viewer discretion is advised.